The dream you dream alone is just a dream. The dream you dream together is reality.
I've been excited to view Richard Stanley's Color Out of Space, adapted from the H.P. Lovecraft short, since hearing it starred Nicolas Cage and was edited by Brett Bachman, who worked with Cage on Mandy. My initial reaction on viewing it is that Stanley, with his reputation for lunacy and a distinctive directorial vision, had accomplished as successful a depiction of Lovecraftian horror as any yet attempted. While the movie isn't perfect, it is very good, and is perhaps a more successful adaptation of the spirit of Lovecraft's entire canon and influence on the genre than of the specific text in question. Does Nicolas Cage offer an insane, over-the-top performance? Well, sure, but depending on the viewer's taste, that can really work in a film like this.
Did you plant those?
No.
The written story progresses at a much slower pace than the movie, with events transpiring over the course of seasons rather than days. The land surrounding the Gardner family slowly succumbs to this otherworldly corruption, even as the family themselves go from paranoiac to depressed torpor, and finally to madness, each in turn.
Now feed your mother.
The movie agrees with the written tale in that it seems to suggest that the death of the Gardner's plant life is as much a product of their despondency as it is a cause.
I mean, should we, try to warn him?
Warn him about what?
In fact, the first suggestion of something off about the well water comes before the meteor even appears.
Dad said if you look long enough, you can see stars down there.
I wouldn't hold my breath. Dad took too much acid back in the hippie days.
But I do see stars.
Your eyes are playing tricks.
The way it's depicted seems ominous, as though to suggest that the meteor may only serve to cultivate seeds of corruption already in place. This process is very much accelerated in the film, and after a rocky start it begins to really work as an effective horror fantasy, and to overcome some of its initial weaknesses.
Mommy?
As matters escalate and one by one the family are destroyed, we're presented with images in brief, flashes and glimpses of horrors from the unknowable depths of space, that Ward survives apparently only because he was untouched by the tainted water.
You don't get it, do you? It's not out there, it's in here. It's in the static, it's in the moisture. Up is down, fast is slow. What's in here is out there. And what's out there is in here now. Comprendo?
Here again is the suggestion that the corruption has its source at home, with the color amplifying and manipulating the wrongness that pre-exists. Events similarly amplify, and the pace accelerates us into a crescendo of incomprehensible occurrences and spectacular visuals. Finally, the color takes everything, sucking the life out of the Gardner farmland in order to create something it knows, as the ghost of Ezra speculates. What remains is the blasted heath so vividly described in the short story, an ashen landscape devoid of life or color. Despite any faults, the movie is full of monstrous effects and gorgeous visuals, and this is where it's most effective. Some of the representations of the corrupted animals, people, and the glimpses of worlds beyond our knowledge and imagining are genuinely horrifying and may well haunt the viewer in much the manner Lovecraft intended. The principal difficulty in adapting this story has always been that you cannot actually represent the color, because Lovecraft specifies that it is not of our visual spectrum, and may in fact not best be described as a color at all. Stanley overcomes this with a combination of shifting chromatics and distorted sounds, combining to generate a weird effect, too fleetingly observed to properly register. In this respect, I think he's done very well. When depicting the corrupting color from space, there's a sort of purple-magenta base, but it's highlighted with flashes ranging the spectrum, and often drowned in blinding white. Lovecraft, in general, invites readers to indulge fears by inducing their imaginations, rather than presenting them with a lot of gory detail. However, in adapting to a visual medium, those horrors must be represented somehow, and I think Stanley has done better in this respect than perhaps any previous filmmaker. We're left with a lingering doubt that the unknowable cosmic evil, while apparently dormant in the lake bed, may already be corrupting our world and ourselves through our drinking water.